Please don't be raining. Perfect.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Thursday to you here at BroncoNationNews.com. Bronco Nation News, our various social media channels, including YouTube and Facebook and X. And today, special Thursday, we got John Mallory, host of Prater in the Ball Game, back for a second straight day here to help us talk about the quarterbacks. So, of course, we welcome those watching on the KTIK social media channels as well, including their YouTube and Facebook channels. So, Johnny, 2 days in a row, we appreciate it. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. Softball controversy last night with one John Patrick.
Yes.
Several others involved. So we got that to talk about, BJ. I was looking at my my copy of Lindy's magazine.
Hey, great magazine choice there.
And I don't know if people know this, the viewers, but BJ Rains has been an employee with Lindy's magazine for over a decade. And because of this Lindy's magazine employment, who are you interviewing in less than an hour?
Dawn Staley, national champ.
Yeah,
and I got Gino set up for. I got Gino set up for next week.
Gino Ariema next week. Dawn Staley in an hour. That's because of Lindy's.
Scott Drew from Baylor tomorrow at 4. So yeah, we're talking to the big. We've already talked to 4 Mountain West coaches. I've recorded those interviews. Next week, we're going to start to get to know the Mountain West basketball teams and play some of those interviews. But I'm on the Mountain West side, at least, because I don't think anybody cares about the Big 12 side. But on the Mountain West, I'm recording the interviews and doing a little summer series on BNN that's also doubling as the Lindy's interview. So get some Mountain West basketball coverage out of this as well on BNN here.
That's cool, man. What do you? Yeah, so you do the Lindy's basketball, college basketball.
Lindy's, yeah. Thanks to you, by the way. Also, thanks to you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The previous station we both worked at, I came on with you once, and we had a guest that came on, and you knew him previously, I guess, from your time up at Idaho, and yeah, so you got me involved in that. It started out kind of small, and now anytime our friend Sean O'Neill needs an extra story, and somebody cancels, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, you want to pick up the women's top 25? Hey, you want to pick up a feature on this team? Yeah, you want to pick this up?" So I'm up to like 30 stories this year, dude. The magazine's going to be like one third me, I think, but
a nice little paycheck over.
I need it to pay your salary.
Yeah.
So
Lindy's magazine. So you're interviewing Dawn Staley today. That's cool, man.
I am. Yeah. But I'm writing a feature story that I'm sure no one has written or will written, Johnny. How does women's college basketball continue its momentum without Caitlin Clark?
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I'm interested.
I'm sure it'll be the first. I'm sure that no one's ever thought of that storyline or topic, so I'll be the first one. But yeah,
but the two people, BJ, in women's basketball that I would want to hear answer that question would be one, Dawn Staley, and two, Gino Auriemma, right? And you're getting them both. So that'll be a good piece.
Yeah, the Gino one will be a full Q&A on Gino. So if you have any good questions, I should ask Gino for a Q&A for the magazine. Let me know. Do you remember in the old Sports Illustrateds, by the way, when Dan Patrick would do a Q&A with somebody?
Yeah. What did he call that? Yes, dude. I mean, I got Sports Illustrated every day, every week, like you did for decades, man. That was the deal. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
that was a good piece.
So I'll be doing the women. I do a women's Q&A. I did the Baylor coach Kim Mulkey last year. Actually did Dawn Staley for the Q&A before that. And Gino's doing the Q&A this year, but going to include him in the story about Caitlin Clark. But having fun doing some off-season basketball. We have the bracket is out, Johnny. We talked about it yesterday. Excuse me. They're going to play in the Enchantment, the New Mexico alumni team, in the TBT game. They'll be coming to town in a couple weeks. That's going to be fun as well. But last night, Johnny, out at Hawks Memorial Stadium, saw you out there. Was a good time. Nice crowd on hand. Perfect weather, as I can remember, by the way. It was a little cloudy. There was even maybe a sprinkle, but the temperature-wise was as cool as it's been out there. I wasn't sweating nearly as much as usual. How about Michael Callahan here? We'll start it off with the home run derby. 19 home runs from Michael Callahan in the home run derby.
19?
At 19, there's me. I was your on-field MC here, handling duty since our friend Jay Tuss bailed. But 19, and then Maddux Madsen had to top him to win the Derby and got to 19.
And that's a nice stroke, BJ.
And not only did he have 6 outs still left, look what he decided to do. He wanted to win the Derby oppo. Maddux Madsen.
No!
Now, it did take one swing. He popped up to the wall. That didn't quite make it out. But the next swing from Maddux Madsen right here goes righty, goes lefty. Walk off home run derby. Back-to-back champions. There I am presenting the trophy.
Oh, my God. BJ Raines trophy presentation.
There you go. Yes. Yeah, this should have been Jay Tuss, but he was unable to attend. He's still in Eugene. How about Dale Holste throwing out the first pitch there? Look at Dale Holste. He went underhand. He learned from you and Prater.
He's got guts. I'll give him that, Dale. He went under. He pulled underhand. He made it work.
Nobody better around the program than Dale Holste. Love Dale. Awesome dude. Always enjoy talking to him. There's Michael Callahan again. Johnny, you were there last night. A lot of trash talking, a lot of dancing. Anytime anybody would go deep, there was a big-time play. Now, here's some plays. We got Roger Carrion, offensive lineman, taking a swing here. How about Zion Washington? He's a nice little athlete out there. He's wearing his Texas Rangers hat. He looked like he could play. Nice play from Zion Washington there. You had some ugly plays, too, here. Here's Marco Notriani and Nohi Canijo fighting for the fly ball. Neither one of them catches it, and it drops. They do get the force out at second there, though, for the defense. But Canijo redeems himself right here. Line drive from Matt Lauder. Canijo makes the catch at shortstop. A little shenanigans over at first base. Notriani trying to push Ascengenti off the base, but he gets back. All right, what do you think of Ahmed Hassanin here? Looking good in the with the guns, but Ben Ford cutting across the outfield. Nice play by Ben Ford. And, Johnny, we remember all the trash talking that Chris Marshall was doing in the spring game on the sidelines. He was doing it on the softball field last night as well. But how about Sheldon Newton, 300-pound defensive tackle? Nice play there on the infield to get Breezy Dubar trying to get to first base. And, Johnny, our man Austin Bolt, first swing was not pretty.
Left-handed?
He swings and misses. I was surprised he went left-handed. First swing he misses, but he got redemption with the home run here on pitch 2.
That'll shut him up.
Yeah, it looked a little better there. He went from swinging and miss to, and the ball was caught there, but it was beyond the rope fence. So that is a home run. You see JP with the home run signal there. A lot of dancing, a lot of trash talking. Now here's Chris Marshall. He also swings and misses. It's rough and bad here for our friend Chris Marshall. Defense over there. You see Markel Reed, McCoy, man, they were letting him have it all game long, man.
Marshall doesn't stop talking, man. So when he does mess up, everybody wants to get in line to talk trash back. Chris Marshall's a lot of fun, man.
Okay, rough at bat for him because here's Andrew Simpson robbing him of a home run. Oh, it would have been gone. Chris Marshall thought he had a home run. Andrew Simpson says no, and there's Shea Oladipo. There's your defensive guys, Markel Reed. There's Rodney Robinson walking him back to his side there. That was kind of the fun, was watching these guys get into it. Ashton Genty, he can do it all, Johnny. Home run for Genty.
That's a nice looking stroke, too. That's when the meat of the bat hits the softball in the perfect place. He knew it was gone. That probably felt really good for Genty.
Breezy Dubar here at the plate. This is during the comeback for the offense. Sheldon Newton not sure where to throw it. Oh, and he throws it away. They're fired up on the offensive side. They're telling guys to go to the next base. Breezy Dubar, you can run past first base, Johnny. You can't run past second. Breezy Dubar ran past second there. They're yelling for him to get back on the base. He makes it back safely. That brings up Chase Penry. He goes deep, a 3-run bomb. Look at Genty and all these guys. Malachi Nelson there with the white shirt over his head. And they are just going crazy now. The offense, they were down 15-3. They cut it to 15-12. Look at Breezy Dubar. Here's the controversy. And it leads to our umpire, John Patrick, getting interviewed during the game with our man, Joey Jenkins. But he was the MC. You had one ump signaling. Maybe I should pause it here for a second here, Johnny, so we can discuss this.
There's Malachi, by the way.
There's Malachi Nelson right there. I'm not sure if JP's in the background and wants to defend himself here and come back, but there he is. Here he is, JP. All right, how we doing, JP?
I'm doing well.
Explain what happened here, because you did an excellent job, I thought, behind the plate. That's a tough spot. You did a great job, but at one point, fly ball to left field off Breezy Dubar's glove. And then there's some question whether it went under the fence or over the fence. But you gave into the peer pressure initially. You called double, and then once some players were getting on you, you changed your mind right away and went home run. I mean, I don't know what happened there.
Well, I did give you a statement on Twitter last night, and I'll read directly from my pool report statement. Play initially was ruled a ground rule double. That was made by the third base umpire. And so I gave the ground rule double signal. But then people started yelling at me saying it bounced off of the glove of the outfielder over the fence. So then I ruled it a home run. And in that case, some people came up to me and said, no, it went under the fence. We conferred with the third base umpire, who said, yes, it did go under the fence after it hit the glove. So therefore, we put back to the initial ruling of a ground rule double.
Johnny, any problem with, first of all, JP, succumbing to the peer pressure of the players and just changing his call right away without asking anybody? And then, or two, getting interviewed, the umpire getting interviewed on the PA system there at the game, Johnny?
Gosh, JP's public appearances are so few and far between that when he does make an appearance, I get it. Joey Jenkins, he's a big media member in this town. He wants JP. He's going to do whatever he can to make sure he gets the JP exclusive. So I know JP wants to get that done. But
yes, the three guys interviewed were Spencer Danielson, Ashton Genty, and then I think maybe they got Andrew Simpson on the defensive side. And then JP was the fourth interview, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, Joey had him on his list. He knew he needed the JP interview. And I will say this, though. He did confer with the other umps. They got the call correct. Did they, BJ? Was the call correct?
The call ended up being correct, yes.
Okay, so, I mean, it did take maybe a roundabout way to get there, a little off the beaten path, but I think ultimately you guys got the call right. Now, maybe JP shouldn't initially just taken one player's word for it and then make the call. He should have said, wait, 1 second, let me talk to my other umps real quick and see if they got the call, and I'll trust them. But he eventually did that. So I don't know much of a controversy. I think if the call got right, you know what? Don't tell me about the labor. Just give me the stinking baby, man. And you guys did it.
I mean, you're out there for free, giving up your time, JP, and you got both teams yelling at you. Controversy. I mean, how do you feel about it?
It wasn't quite as contentious as last year's play at first base with our
that was
that got a little touchy when I got bumped by Alexander.
I don't have the video. I should have pulled it from Johnny's. While we have you, JP, I don't have the video of the other play where you made yourself the star of the show here. But Johnny, you had the video rolling. You must have known this was coming. I assume you guys talked about this on the show yesterday. But stopping the game to get a selfie with not only Ashton Genty but also Ahmed Hassanin, and you have posted that on social media, JP. But the selfie, once again, making yourself the focal point here.
Well, how many chances am I going to get to get a selfie with Ashton Genty and Ahmed Hassanin, together?
Never again.
Once.
Never again, JP. That was your only moment. I agree with you.
I don't know. Can we? I mean, that's grounds for having your career. There
JP,
it is.
You got to blow that up into like a fathead and put it in your golf room.
Keep it on there for a second. I'm going to make that full screen there. There we go, JP. There it is. There it is. In the middle of the game, JP stopping the game to get that photo. I mean, is Patrick Walsh already on the line revoking a credential for the season here or what? I mean, what is going on here, JP?
I'll tell you about.
It's a good picture, though. They're both smiling. You're smiling. That's actually
they're thrilled. Look how Genty. That's a big smile, and Ahmed's just they're very, very pleased to be taking a picture with JP there. I love it.
I want this known to Bronco Nation that Ahmed Hassanin was the catcher for the defensive side, and there was a lot of times where he got a little too close to the batter, and I was worried that he was going to, take a bat to the head or the shin, or somebody was going to, flip a bat and it was going to hit him. So I had to tell Ahmed a couple of times, hey, back away. He's
probably never played baseball before, right?
I don't think he had. No. So I was looking out for Bronco Nation and Ahmed Hassanin's well-being in that game last night.
And we do have that is very nice. We do owe you for that. Robbie Robinson does say also, if it was one thing, if it was a selfie with players from one team, but since both teams are included in the selfie, no bias towards either team. That's clean. That's fine.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at this. When we had Ashton Genty in studio, I got one of his cards, and you damn well better believe after the interview, I had him autograph it.
Oh, what is going on here? What did I get myself into?
Put it on the door. Like, hey man, would you mind? I had no problem. So
we got selfies, we got autographs. Well, I thought this was journal. What happened to journalism here? What happened to journalism?
We're entertainment, man.
I think selfie is okay. Bro hugs, that crosses the line, though, John.
Oh my gosh. JP, nicely done umpiring. Good job.
Look at that form. I'm saying no, it's a ground rule double. Look at that.
What was that interview regarding, JP? What was Joey asking?
He was asking me what happened on the play and why the ruling and what was the ruling. And so therefore I had to tell him.
I'm just like, what? First of all, I'm on the side. Both teams are now yelling at JP and going crazy. And I'm like, uh-oh, I'm glad that ain't me out there. And then he figured it out. But then never in a million years did I think the home plate umpire at the softball game would be on the mic discussing what happened there after the play. But you got it. You got the call right in the end, and you got your picture, and everything's good.
Look at Andrew Simpson in the back. He's waiting. He's waiting for the ruling.
Hanging on every word out of JP's mouth there. All conference linebacker Andrew Simpson. Just all his hopes and dreams there, just at the foot of JP's tongue.
Yeah, hanging on it.
I just still don't know how I feel about JP just changing his call because of the peer pressure, not even checking with the other umps. Just, okay, you know what? I was wrong. We're going to change it. And then you were right. You should have stuck with your guns. Come on, JP.
Eventually, they got the call right.
Fun time.
I only do this once a year, so you got to cut me a little bit of slack.
You looked way more official this year, though. I'll tell you what. When you're behind the plate, like you've done this before now, like you were Angel Hernandez-esque out there in terms of just or Joe West or whoever a good umpire is. I shouldn't have mentioned Angel, but you were right. you were in control. You said you're having the players back up. You were telling guys to wait to pitch. I mean, you were in rare form last night.
I was, and there was one heckler that I'm gonna show you this picture. This is Boise Squid, and he showed up repping the KTIK gear.
He's cool,
but I had to warn him, and I think Johnny saw me warn him that I was going to throw him out of the stadium if he got too crazy.
Yeah, he was. JP was hoping Boise Squid was going to talk some stuff, and JP, again, another JP moment he was going to take advantage of. He was going to toss somebody out of the stadium.
Wow. Well, JP, nicely done. Nicely done by JP there. And you got the call right, and it was a fun night. And appreciate you for popping on there, JP. The game ended, Johnny, with the defense. Once again, the defense was able to make the final out here on the final play of the game. A catch in the outfield by Andrew Simpson. There's some trash talking going on. Back-to-back for the defense here. Rodney Robinson, Sheldon Newton.
Hey, how's it feel, Rodney? Hey, we don't lose.
Great.
BYB,
It feels great.
we don't mess with old block. We don't never lose to them, even in practice.
Back-to-back.
Ever.
They never lose. Back-to-back. BYB, the Boneyard Boys, right, for the defense there. That's their kind of thing. Defense wins yet again.
That's cool.
And fun time. It was a fun. You were there. I was there. I talked to Coach Danielson for a little bit. He was there, and it was a fun time. Somebody asked about the crowd. The crowd was bigger on the third base side, sitting in the shade. So you, in a lot of the camera angles, you were on the first base side, so it didn't look like there was anybody there. There were some fans on the third base side, but I will say, Johnny, I think that thing should be more well attended than it is for how much fun it is.
There was, 50, 60 people down in the beer garden down the first base.
That is true. They were drinking the beer down right field, not watching the game.
Partying and playing cornhole. They weren't watching the game, but they were there having fun, supporting it and whatnot. Yeah, sure. You'd want more people to that. We talked about it on Idaho Sports Talk. You probably gave them a ton of coverage as well. But people are saying they didn't hear about it. I don't know. I mean, I guess there should be more people. I don't really have anything else to say on that.
For $5. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun night. And next, if you'll see that maybe next year you'll bring the family back. They had autographs after the game. The kids got to run the bases as well. Didn't see JP run the bases though. I was surprised. I thought he may be all over that, but it was a fun time. And appreciate Joe Nickel and everybody out there at the collective and the Boise Hawks for having us out. And fun time. And a nice crowd and a nice weather. End up being not too hot. So the defense wins, and they go back-to-back. The players will now get a week off for 4th of July next week. They'll get the full week off. I'm going home, seeing family, whatever. They'll come back for about 3 weeks and then be ready to go at the start of August right there with fall camp. So a lot to be decided during fall camp, including that quarterback battle, and that is our topic today. Question number 2, Malachi Nelson, Maddux Madsen, who will start against Georgia Southern for the Boise State football team. We will discuss in just a second. How about that for a tease? Hey, Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for that next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs, including those concrete coatings, garage, basement, back patio. Highly recommend the concrete coatings from rowpaint.com. Make sure you check them out, roepaint.com. Tonight, we had to push it back because of the game yesterday, but tonight, 8 p.m., make sure you come back to Bronco Nation News, wherever you're watching the show, preferably on YouTube. 8 p.m. tonight, we'll have Dylan Anderson, the Arizona transfer, join us on Bronco Nation News. And it's the Idaho Central Credit Union Tyson Degenhart Show, Year 2, Season 2 of the Tyson Degenhart Show. And his guest tonight, again, the first public comments, Arizona transfer Dylan Anderson. Looking forward to that tonight, so don't miss it. 8 o'clock tonight. Bring your questions for Dylan and for Tyson on the Tyson Degenhart Show. Matt Bauscher Real Estate, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. Sarah, Cade, Kelly, Matt, the whole team. I could go on and on about how great their personal service was and just how the customer service and just how the attention was to detail and everything. And so we were just very pleased and happy that when we purchased our home and sold our home with Bauscher Real Estate. And we are 100% recommending them to now that we've used them firsthand to anybody out there. So any size home, doesn't matter how small, how big, they will help you every step of the way. They will help you get top dollar for your home. I'll tell you what, on the negotiations, like I even talked to some other realtors that are friends of mine, and they're like, really, Matt asked for that? Wow, like he's really going for it. And I got what, Matt asked for as well. So he knows what he's doing. He asks for the most for his clients, and he gets it done. Check him out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 13 locations across the state of Idaho. Love that Kuna location. Was out at the Star location a couple weeks ago as well. So check them out, shopridleys.com. Again, download that Skip app and get savings up to 40% off the checkout line. And again, shopridleys.com is where you can find a location near you. All right, we're talking Boise State quarterback battle. Question number 2, and you could obviously make a case this should be number 1. I think all the questions kind of this week, Johnny, go hand in hand. Ashton Genty, the defense needing to create some turnovers. Spencer Danielson in year 1 as a head coach. And the biggest on-the-field question, I think, at least in right now, or question mark, because you kind of know what you're getting from an Ashton Genty. But position battle, no bigger every year than quarterback. And sure enough, Boise State's got one. And a very intriguing one as well, Johnny, with the returner, Maddux Madsen, the 5-star, hyped-up newcomer in Malachi Nelson. Big picture, this quarterback battle as we sit here on Thursday, June 27th. Where are you at, man?
Well, I'm trying to compare it, and maybe there's no comparison for this one. Comparable to what Boise State has had the previous 4 or 5 years with, quarterback battles, right? In-season quarterback controversies, preseason camp battles, Hank and Jack obviously got a lot of attention here. And this one's kind of odd. I mean, one of them played a little bit last year, played pretty well. He did okay. And then the other one has all the pedigree and didn't play last year. And then now they're coming and we've been around this team a lot more than past teams. And it feels like there's not this big quarterback competition inside the building. And maybe the comparison is no comparison because it felt earlier when there was quarterback controversies, it felt like it was in the building a little bit. And I don't see that with this team. I think they were just cool with whoever is going to win the gig. It's authentic. There's really no, I think, locker room favorite. Maybe a little bit Mad Dog if there is a slight one because he's been here a few years. But I think those players recognize Malachi Nelson's talent. And I think those players recognize that, they don't care who the starting quarterback is. They just want to win games. They want to go to the playoff. They want to get another ring on their finger. Whoever's going to give them the best opportunity to do that, they'll trust. Whoever Dirk Cutter is going to tell Spencer Danielson, this is our guy, they'll trust as well, BJ. So from that perspective, I think it's going to be really interesting. Doesn't feel like there's that favorite there. Now with the fans, BJ, it kind of does. Feels like the fans want Malachi to win this job, and that's their right. That's cool. I get it. I get the pedigree there too. This thing's going to be very, very interesting because no, I don't think it's anything like what Boise State has had in the past. Think about this too. One is a freshman and the other is a sophomore. Both these guys very young in eligibility, which also means in today's landscape, the loser of this job might have a hard time holding on to past a year, but you can't plan ahead anymore like that, right?
No, I agree with you. Some comments coming in. Nate says, if I was a betting man, Mad Dog starting against Georgia Southern, but don't expect him to be the starter the full season. I might be there too. I might go there. And again, this will change daily once we watch spring practice, Johnny. And it sounds like we're going to get some pretty good access again to fall camp. And we'll get some good access again, it sounds like, to fall camp. Because our opinion, of at least mine, of Malachi Nelson changed throughout spring as he got better and better and better. But this, I don't know, is safer the right word? Is the safer pick against Georgia Southern maybe going with Mad Dog?
If the game was this weekend, 100%. If the game's this weekend, that's the safe play. But they have several months. Malachi's working out every single day, just like Mad Dog is. They're getting better. They're getting bigger. They're getting faster. They're getting stronger. They're getting smarter. I mean, they're just in the Spencer Danielson developmental football program, right? So they're developing every single day, whether the coaches are right by their side or not. So it's really going to come down to, I think, who has the better fall camp. I think who gives Dirk Cutter the most confidence that, Georgia State. And that's a good way to think about it because you're thinking, and was it Nate said, you're just going into Georgia Southern almost like playing not to lose. If that's the case, like, hey, we just don't want to risk anything. Let's be conservative here. Let's play the kid who's thrown, 100+ passes so far in his career. That's the safe play. Maybe that's what you want to do. But if Malachi is the better quarterback in fall camp, I think he's just going to play. I think Malachi is going to start. I don't care who wins the job. I'll be excited for both kids. I like them both. I really like Maddux Madsen. He's a good dude. I'd be really happy for him if he beats Malachi Nelson out. how low recruited kid from American Fork gets a one-on-one quarterback competition with number one on the top ESPN 300 list 2 years ago, and he beats him out. I mean, talk about how much he must have improved Mad Dog to get put himself in a position where he might be a better quarterback than a kid who's been a bonus baby, rightfully so. He's been awesome, Malachi Nelson, and they've been telling him he's probably a future NFL kid since he was about a sophomore in high school. And if Mad Dog could do that, but if Malachi just, I think, stays the course, does what he does, lets his ability take over, I think ultimately they're going to come to the conclusion that, man, this guy's got some really serious stuff, and we got to make it work with him. And I think ultimately they will. I'm still camp Malachi starting week 1, but man, if this isn't the biggest story in fall camp, I don't know what is on this team, BJ. Holy smokes, especially that Oregon game, right? I mean, dude, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, the comments are rolling in here in the ICCU YouTube chat. Let us know. James says, I think it'll be Madsen for the first game, then Nelson will take over game 2 or 3 if the play is not electric. Nate also says, believe that Maddux Madsen has the capability. However, his height really was an issue last season. Multiple passes batted at the line. BSU Bill, Mad Dog almost had 4 or 5 picks in the Fresno game. He will improve, but his stats look a lot different if opposing teams don't drop some of those interceptions.
Malachi has those, though. You know that.
Malachi has superior arm talent. If he doesn't start, it means he didn't grasp the offense as much as he should have over the summer.
I would say better arm talent. I don't know if I would use the adjective superior, because I guarantee you if BSU Bill was standing on the sidelines right next to us in practice, he'd be like, whoa, Maddux Madsen throws the ball pretty well, huh? I mean, because sometimes
he does, dude. He does. You're right.
Maddux will outthrow Malachi on certain throws. It happens all the time in practice. They're doing a particular drill. Oh, look at Mad Dog. He hit Prince on that. Ooh, that was a little bit off. It comes and goes. It's not like Malachi Nelson has this arm that every time he throws the ball, we're like, oh my God, is that Patrick Mahomes out there? Like,
agreed.
It's not that big of a difference. It's close, man. Like, yeah,
well,
just saying, BSU Bill, in my opinion, if you saw them throw next to each other, maybe you have in warm-ups or the spring game. I don't know, Mad Dog didn't throw much there if he did it all, but it's closer than you think. It's not superior.
Well, I would say the biggest issue with Maddux Madsen last year was not his throwing, it was his decision-making. Some of the decisions to make some of the throws that almost got picked wasn't necessarily that they were bad throws. They were just bad decisions on throws. So I don't think anyone has ever questioned his arm. And if you watched, like you said, Johnny, spring, and again, it was 7-on-7 drills. He wasn't in the full team stuff, but he looked good in spring, man. I thought Maddux Madsen made some nice throws in the spring.
Go back and listen to every Cutter comment on him, Yeah.
Boise's asking about his health. Is he going to be 100% by opening week? I mean, he had no brace on last night, was doing everything. I mean, I think he's already at 100% right now. I think they were just kind of, we don't know that for sure, but I believe he's been cleared and is ready to go. I agree with you, Johnny, that the fans would want Malachi. I think that's the more exciting, sexier pick, but Henry Hickey here says the fans want Mad Dog.
Some do, obviously, and that's cool. I understand why a fan in this town, blue collar, the way this program was built, they love dudes like Mad Dog, the guy that not other big programs wanted. You think Maddux Madsen got a letter from USC? No, I doubt it, right? Do you think it's just, so you root for those guys. Now all of a sudden he's on the cusp of, like I said, possibly beating out someone with the pedigree of Malachi Nelson. Is pretty impressive. So I can see why people want Maddux to win the job too. And, remember, okay, UCF, that drive, that comeback, I think about that with Mad Dog. It's weird, and I get it, but feels like whenever I see anybody on BNN, or in most cases, people on BNN, when they talk about Mad Dog, it's, well, he should have had all these picks, but didn't. Well,
they forget about the Memphis game. They forget about the UCF game.
It's like, damn, man, we only bring up the negative on Mad Dog. You don't bring up, you said the Memphis where he was terrific. That UCF drive, man, if that UCF kicker misses a 50-yard field goal, I mean, Mad Dog's a hero there. Like, he has had some really slick moments too. And Again, he's going to be, if you ask Mad Dog how good he was at football in the UCF game compared to how good he is at football today, he'd probably laugh at you and he'd say, God, if I woke up tomorrow and I was the player I was then, I'd punch myself in the face. Like he's significantly better now. So he's put himself in a position to win the job. All that said, I still think Malachi will win it. I just think he's that gifted, and eventually he will just edge Mad Dog out, and Boise State will have a terrific backup and a really good QB room, because I don't see Mad Dog being a sulking, kind of being a punk about it or leaving. I don't see any of it. I don't see anything there for Mad Dog. And who the hell knows? Just play this game.
Yep.
Malachi Nelson kicks ass next year. Boise goes to the CFP. Malachi Nelson the following year is starting at Notre Dame for $3 million a year. Who's the starter at BSU? Ooh, there's Maddux Madsen, who will then only be a junior. So Mad Dog maybe is QB2 this year, and then next year he's QB1 again because Malachi transfers or whatever the case. All that stuff is in play. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. I think Mad Dog, even if he doesn't get the gig, he's going to be a professional about it.
No doubt. Hey, a lot of comments coming in here. Let's continue those in just a second. But do want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordboise.com. You can check them out. Their anniversary sale, some great deals going on right now. And again, lithiafordboise.com is where you can view their full inventory of vehicles. And you find a couple you like the Raines family did. We went in, we saw the two right away in the lot that we had been looking at, went and test drove them, had already done our research. So it was a pretty quick process, said, yep, that's the one we want. And we were on our way pretty quickly. And again, easy process. Lithia Ford of Boise, huge supporters of Boise State Athletics. Return the favor. One of the biggest supporters there is of Boise State Athletics is Lithia Ford of Boise. So return the favor next time you're looking to purchase that next vehicle. The Blue and Orange Store, Travis Hawks, another big supporter. Monday, Mike Prater and I will be out at Capitol 11 to catch up with Travis Hawks. Looking forward to that. Yes. You want to come? You feel free. Mike Prater, myself, Monday, we'll be doing our show out at Capitol 11, the Blue and Orange Store.com, talking football, basketball, AD search, or AD talk, the Houston AD search, lots of stuff to talk about with Travis Hawks and company. So the Blue and Orange Store.com, all your Boise State gear, shirts, caps, bumper stickers, car flags, the Ashton Genty Heisman shirt. You can get it all at the Blue and Orange Store. Second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall there next to Pro Image, or you can go online and get free shipping in any order over $40 at the Blue and Orange Store.com. Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service are signing up people all over the world. I was on my honeymoon, or not my honeymoon, but on a 11-year anniversary honeymoon, I guess if you want to call it, out in Mexico last week with my wife on a vacation, and met a truck driver and randomly said, I have a sponsor that does in the trucking industry, TCS, and he showed me his card. He works with TCS. He uses them to help with his permits and things and to stay on top of things. So Transportation Compliance Service, they're helping folks all over the world, and they're based right here in the Treasure Valley. So if you're looking to get into the trucking industry, or if you're already in the trucking industry, they can help you stay on top of your permits and things that need to be renewed or filled out. So let them keep you on the road at Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out, transcompservice.com. And if you need a meal, how about Taco Bell? TacoBellWorks.com. Great food, great environment, and they're hiring. TacoBellWorks.com. Get more information. You can fill out an application. They give you half your wages the very next day after your shift, and you can also get free food while you work. They have promotional opportunities, great benefits. It's a very strong career choice to get into the Taco Bell family. So SON Management, the Nicolason family, we appreciate them. You can get more information. Check them out at TacoBellWorks.com. And we're still signing up people for the Vegas football contest. Connor Johnstone, our buddy Johnny, you know Connor, right?
Absolutely, the golfer.
Yes, he is going to Las Vegas for contest weekend. He is signing up for the Circa Sports Contest. I got him a deal on a room at Circa, and he's going to be hanging out with Derek Stevens at the open bar party. So Connor Johnstone in an open bar, that could get fun. So Johnny, we're trying to get folks signed up. $16 million in guaranteed prizes. It's August 22nd to 24th. Come down to Vegas with us. I told you yesterday, we'll buy you a steak dinner at Barry's if you come down and sign up for the contest. And we've got you connected. We'll get you connected with Tom Carroll, our proxy. Again, this is 100% legal. People ask me, it seems kind of shady. No. This is how it happens. all over the United States, all over the world. You just have to sign up in Las Vegas, but you can play from anywhere using our proxy, Tom Carroll, VegasFootballProxy.com. When we get down to Vegas, we get you signed up with Tom, and then you make your picks through Tom. He goes into the casino. His company makes the picks for you. It's 100% legal. And again, if you can't go to Vegas, we can still get you signed up for the contest ourselves. And so let us know when we're going down to media days and things in a couple of weeks. We can sign you up. Looking forward to that. And again, thanks to Tom Carroll, Vegas Football Proxy, that makes it possible for you to play anywhere in the world in the winner-take-all $10 million Survivor or the $6 million Millions there at Circa Resort and Casino. And Johnny, I mean, it's crazy. It's Thursday. 2 weeks from right now, Spencer Danielson may be doing an interview with you or I or somebody there at Media Days. We will be live on BNN 2 weeks from right now at Circa for Media Days.
Yeah, that's the kickoff of football season for media members, and it's a great reward and treat for Bronco Nation because they get to hear from all the coaches in the league. They get to hear from the marquee players in the league, and all of a sudden they get to, kind of get ready for their season as a fan as well. I do this with the teams that I follow as a fan. You want to know the other teams in the league, and Media Day is kind of the kickoff for all that. And I know you do a terrific job. I stand behind the work Prater, myself, JP, and KTIK does down there too. So we work really hard. We're not just at the pool constantly and partying at the blackjack table at 4 a.m. More like I'm too tired at 10:45 to stay up even past 11 on some of those nights. We're so busy. So it's a reward, and it's a kickoff for the season for everybody. 2 weeks. Let's get here, man.
Yeah, it's 12-hour days. It is a lot of work, and I think the partnership of BNN, KTIK, getting to tag team some stuff down there is going to be a lot of fun once again. We've got even newer camera, newer equipment every year, and we're continuing to improve the product on BNN, so I'm looking forward to that. A couple of final comments here on this QB battle. Let's see. Bronco says, just joining with all the speed weapons. They could just run Maddux Madsen. He could screen past teams to death. We have the speed and the weapons. Tom says, my vote is Nelson. Mad Dog, good enough for subbing, but physically limited. Let's see. Dayton Robinson, late to the show, but I think in the playbook system, longer benefits Mad Dog. He's got a head start on Nelson. Can't wait to see how it plays out. Whoever starts, just get the ball to Chris Marshall, BSU Bill says.
Want to see him?
That's a good plan. He looks great. By the way, seeing him out there yesterday, I mean, that dude is a physical specimen in terms of his size. I mean, he looks like an NFL-type receiver.
And he looks like he never played baseball ever, but he almost hit a home run just because he's just talented and gifted and coordinated and big and physical and strong. He was robbed by Andrew Simpson on that home run, but if you look at Chris Marshall's swing, it didn't look like he spent a whole lot of time playing baseball growing up, I think, in Texas. Maybe he did, and he just hasn't played in a long time, but to still almost hit a home run with when it doesn't look like how to play baseball very well, that's really impressive athletically. That stood out to me with Marshall last night too.
Steve says, if all is equal between Mad Dog and Nelson, I can see Cutter deciding who starts based largely on decision-making. Boise says, I think Dirk Cutter loves Mad Dog, doesn't care about the implications down the road. If Dirk Cutter is coming out of retirement for 1 year, he's going to start who he thinks gives them the best chance to win. I would agree with that.
Who's going to it's also going to come down to who's going to make less mistakes. That's going to be huge for Cutter. Even if he thinks QB A might be better, if QB B is going to protect the ball and won't make a mistake that might hurt him, and he might lean towards QB B on that. He's just not going to take mistakes. He's not going to take sloppiness. He's not going to take, forgetting a play call here or there, or not being pinpoint terminology, or, maybe when I don't know how they changed their line, or, maybe not, changing a protection when it's clear, obvious protection change. He just spaced out and didn't do it. Like, those things add up, and those are things that fans or media members, it's tough to find out when those happen, but when they happen in practice.
Clint says, the fan and everyone, I think, wants Malachi to start. However, I don't see how Mad Dog loses the battle with how motivated he is and how his leadership has skyrocketed. I mean, final thing, I guess, Johnny, as we wrap this up, I mean, you're thinking it's going to be Nelson. I think long-term it's Nelson, but I do think Maddux Madsen has the leg up right now going into fall camp as QB1, just based on the being here previously and just the seating chart. I think he's going to take
Isn't that what Spencer said too, BJ?
Yeah, I think that's how it should be. I think he deserves to take that first rep in the first practice of fall camp, and we'll see. But I mean, this is a very tough decision, and you do have to now, as you said, Johnny, factor in NIL, transfer portal, like implications beyond this season now with guys when you do playing time. Like that has to be a factor. The hype of Malachi Nelson coming in, and then the steady returner in Maddux Madsen. I mean, this is going to be a very tough decision, I think, for Cutter and a very tough one for Cutter and Danielson. But I think it's also a good problem to have, because I do feel pretty confident that either one of these quarterbacks could help them win a lot of games this year.
I think one is going to play. They're not going to say, I mean, even if a guy barely wins the gig, it doesn't mean, well, we're going to play them both. We got a package here. You're going to see him the third drive of the second quarter. I hate it when they try to map that out and teams try to just play QB1. Play him. If he plays like dog crap, then you have a decision to make. But play QB1. Like, that's why I'm like, well, you're going to start Mad Dog Georgia Southern just to keep things calm. Then you're going to go into one of the toughest environments in college football and say, okay, Malachi, let's go. Like, I think if you want Malachi to start in Autzen, he better play a lot at Georgia Southern. A half, just start the damn game, play the whole game. I don't think you can just introduce him to that in Eugene. That could snowball, and all of a sudden you're down 17-0 in the first quarter. Like, remember Oregon State? Hank Bachmeier just started throwing interceptions to start.
Got pulled. It was amazing.
Like, the hell and Boise State fans like we're out of it now. We can't even win this. Like, you don't want that. And I'm not. Hank was that was his fourth year as a starter that game. That was just a bad game for Hank, obviously. But
Trevor says, as long as we don't pull a Bush and do whatever we did last year, he says Nelson will be named the starter, but only play the fourth quarter. And I guess Tequila Gus, our final comment here. Mad Dog is Beverly D'Angelo, while Nelson is Christy Brinkley driving by in the Ferrari.
Dude, I was kind of more of a Beverly D'Angelo guy. That's a really good comparison, because Beverly D'Angelo, Christy Brinkley's almost like too hot. Beverly D'Angelo was like sexy, man. Yeah, come on, man. That's a good comparison. Beverly D'Angelo. How old is she now? Like 80? Anyway.
Gotta be. I'm sure you're going to dive back into the controversy when you get Prater on the air today. 3 o'clock, 3 to 6. Get more on JP's umpiring. But what else we got coming up on Idaho Sports Talk today, Johnny?
Yeah. Nepotism in sports. This time of year, we try to find interesting stories that maybe we wouldn't talk about during football season or something. And, we might see it tonight at a level that we have never seen before if Bronny James is drafted in the second round of the NBA draft. Certainly we figured it plays well in this town because, look at the basketball program. They've had to deal with Leon and Max have had to deal with that word, right? Nepotism for their whole time. So, we just want, is it real? Do people buy into it? We're going to talk about nepotism in sports. Oh, and I think float season kicks off today, BJ. Are you floating the river this year?
At some point, might get the kids out there. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So, we're having fun on Idaho Sports Talk for sure.
Leon Rice go ahead.
65 days. Until
is that where we're at now? Okay, 65 days, 3 to 6 today. Make sure you're listening. Idaho Sports Talk. Leon Rice speaking at 2 o'clock to the media today. We'll get that up on the BNN YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys will have some clips of that on your show as well. So Leon Rice, 2 o'clock, his first real public interview since the season ended, I think, since to catch up with all the guys in terms of the newcomers and things like that, and kind of the roster as they're set for their summer workouts. So Johnny, appreciate it. JP, appreciate it. Thanks everybody for getting us on the air. Thanks to all of you guys for the great comments today. Thank you for supporting the sponsors. Please continue to do that. We cannot continue to make these shows free of charge for you if you cannot support the sponsors, many of which you see behind me. So go support the sponsors. Tell them that you're doing it because of their work with BNN. Tell your friends. Go subscribe. Make sure we're about 150 away, Johnny, from reaching 5,000 on on YouTube, and we would like to get that done before or during Mountain West Media Days. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. It's easy. And we appreciate you for that. So make sure you're listening 3 to 6 to Johnny, Prater, JP, Bob, the whole gang. And we'll talk to you, Jay Tuss, tomorrow, 9 a.m., our number one question and storyline surrounding the Boise State football team heading into the 2024 season. We'll do that at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day. Listen at 3 o'clock to KTIK, and we appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.